Hey there guys, how's it going? Trains here again, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to kit up your Squire to become a great motherfucking wall of China to wall off every single lane in Dungeon Defenders 2. So, first things first, as always, let's take a look at stats. Really simple on this character. We're going to want to throw every single point we can into defense health, and then all our remaining points into hero health. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and move on to the sphere sheet and take a look. Generally the same strategy. The small spheres are going to have 2 defense health spheres, the tier 3 defense sphere and the tier 5 defense health sphere. Then we're also going to want to throw in the tier 3 health sphere for heroes. And then, for me personally, for the medium slot, I like to throw in reduction of cooldown abilities by 10%, and then I have an attack stun sphere here just for fun, but if you want, you can go ahead and throw another cooldown reduction if you like, or basically whatever you like here. It really does not matter what you put in for the medium slots. And for the large slot, this is actually not the preferred one you want to throw in. I can't currently afford the one I want, so I only have this one thrown in here, but the one we do want to throw in is going to be right here, Vengeance Sphere. 50% of damage taken by a spike blockade is returned in its next attack. This is going to be fantastic, because once you get to the higher tier nightmares, the enemies are going to be hitting it for a lot of damage. And if a suicide bombing kobold goes in and blows up on a blockade, then the next attack by the blockade is going to be for a phenomenally high amount of damage compared to its other usual attacks. Then, for the Uber Sphere, we definitely want the Shielding Guard Sphere. 5% chance when defenses are damaged to shield for 100% of defense health for 3 seconds. You want this 100% of the time. Do not switch this out for another Uber Sphere. Now, next up, let's take a look at the items. Very straightforward for a walling Squire, actually. For the weapon, we're just going to want defense health straight out right. And then for its passives, you can honestly get whatever you want. I haven't seen a good defense passive on a sword yet, so I just basically pick up whichever one I really want, but hero-based ones are probably going to be the best, since this is the character that I usually have out on the field when I want to get DPS gear or walling gear for either of my Squires. This is going to be my go-to Squire character on the field. Next up, for the shield, we're going to want one with either defense health or hero health. I'm not 100% sure if shields can actually get defense health, but if they can, go for it. The only ones I've seen are hero health so far. Then for the passives, this is where it gets really important. There are 2 main passives you want on all defense Squire gear pieces. You want Hardy Blockade. This is the #1 stat you want on all Squire defense pieces. Hardy Blockade increases the defense health by your hero health percentage. So 4% of your hero health is added to the spike blockade's defense health. This increases the defense health of your blockade immensely. I don't know exactly what the ratio is point to point, but I'll let you know. I'll give you a quick example later in the video. Then the secondary stat we want on all of our defense pieces is automation. What this does is let me see if I can find one. I want to read it. There it is. 25% chance on hit for spike blockade to be repaired for 11% of the damage that it was dealt. This is phenomenal because it saves you from having to run around and repair, and even buys you that extra little hit or 2 that the spike blockade can take before it goes down, buying you enough time to either clear the lane or throw up a repair on it. And as you can see, all of my gear has Hardy Blockade on it, but not a lot of them have automation on it. Automation is going to be the perfect stat item. If you can get automation, Hardy Blockade, defense health, and hero health on all of your pieces, you are 100% good to go. As you can see, my helmet's got defense health as a primary, hero health as a secondary, and then Hardy Blockade. If that Channel 9 ability was a automation instead, this would be a perfect helmet, and I would probably never ever replace it. Now, let me really emphasize how badly you need Hardy Blockade for a defensive Squire. Look at my gloves, for example. They have no defense health on them, no hero health on them, but they have Hardy Blockade 5% on them. Now, let's take a quick look at my barricade. It's got 217,000 HP on it, but if we take off these gloves, These are item power 115 gloves on a item power 524 Squire. Let's take these off and let's look. 189,000 HP on the blockade. It decreased it by a metric shit ton of HP. Look at all that HP this bad boy gains from just one item with 5% on it. That should really emphasize how important Hardy Blockade is on a Squire. And really, that's it for a walling character. You just want it to have a ton of HP and a ton of defense health with Hardy Blockade and automation. You're pretty much going to be all set after that. And you're just going to want to keep an eye out for gear that has all 4 of those stats on it. It'll basically round out the character and make it perfect. And last but not least, the pet, we're just going to want defense health and hero health on it, just standard as usual. If you want, you can try to get a pet with the ability that gives your character a shield, since this character is going to be the one doing the provokes, doing the stuns in the middle of combat, and tanking a lot of the damage for the higher tier Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4 difficulties. And that's about it, guys. I hope this guide really helps you out in making your defense Squire, and good luck defending those dungeons.